The sun hung low over Chicago's bustling O'Hare International Airport, casting long shadows across the tarmac. Inside Terminal 5, a young man named Marcus Bennett sat in the exclusive pilot's lounge, nervously checking his watch. He had been given permission to wait there as part of Horizon Aviation's elite mentorship program, a rare opportunity for promising young minds who dreamed of soaring through the skies. Marcus, a 17-year-old high school senior with an insatiable passion for aviation, had spent years absorbing every piece of knowledge about aircraft mechanics, flight dynamics, and aerodynamics. He could identify planes by the sound of their engines and had spent countless hours training on flight simulators. This day, his first inside the lounge, was supposed to be a milestone in his journey, but his moment of quiet anticipation was shattered by a stern, commanding voice. "Hey, you, what are you doing here?" Marcus turned to see Captain Victoria Hayes, a senior pilot with over 20 years of experience, striding toward him. Her sharp, scrutinizing gaze flickered between Marcus and the guest pass hanging round his neck. I'm waiting for my mentor. She told me I could wait here," Marcus replied, forcing himself to remain calm despite the cold hostility in her voice. Hayes scoffed. "I don't know what you're talking about, but this lounge is for pilots, not trespassers. Security. We have an unauthorized individual in the pilot's lounge." Marcus felt his stomach drop as Hayes reached for her radio. The room, once filled with casual conversations and the murmur of a flight documentary on the television, fell silent. Heads turned, curious eyes bored into him, some indifferent, others filled with suspicion. "I have a pass," Marcus tried again, his voice steady, but his heart racing. He snatched his badge, examining it with a sneer. "A fake pass, you mean? I've seen all kinds of stunts, and trust me, you don't belong here." Before Marcus could protest, two security officers entered the lounge, their expressions unreadable. One of them, a tall man with a rigid posture, gestured toward the door. "You'll need to come with us, son. We have to verify your identity." "I haven't done anything wrong," Marcus said, his voice firmer now. "Please, just call my mentor, Miss Holloway from HR. She'll clear everything up." No one moved. No one spoke up. "Resistance isn't going to help you," Captain Hayes added, crossing her arms. "Let's go." Marcus's hands trembled as he reached for his phone. He dialed his father's number, whispering a silent prayer that he would answer. The phone rang once, twice. Then, finally, a deep, authoritative voice came through the speaker. "Marcus, what's wrong?" "Dad," Marcus breathed, the tension in his chest nearly unbearable. "I need you to come to the pilot's lounge now." There was a brief silence. Then his father's voice came, sharp and commanding. "Stay where you are. I'm on my way." 15 minutes later, the lounge doors swung open, and in walked Jonathan Bennett, administrator of the Federal Aviation Authority. The room, once buzzing with whispered speculation, fell completely silent. Captain Hayes took an instinctive step back, her confidence wavering as she recognized the man approaching. "Mr. Bennett," she started, attempting to compose herself. He raised a hand, silencing her. "My son called me in distress." "Captain Hayes," he said, his tone measured but firm, "explained to me why he was treated as a trespasser when he had legitimate authorization to be here." Hayes opened her mouth, searching for an excuse. But before she could speak, another voice cut through the tension. "We have reviewed the security footage, sir." A senior security officer stepped forward. "It confirms that Marcus was invited here as part of the program. His badge is completely legitimate." A ripple of murmurs spread through the room. Jonathan Bennett's expression remained unreadable as he turned back to Hayes. "Did you bother to check his credentials before accusing him of trespassing?" He swallowed hard. "I was only ensuring security, sir. Given the sensitivity of airport safety, I had to act quickly." Jonathan's gaze hardened. Security measures should be based on facts, not personal biases. Marcus was humiliated, his integrity questioned, and his dream moment turned into a nightmare because you isn't the worst of him. The weight of his words sank into the crowd. Hayes' face paled as she realized the gravity of her actions. A senior FAA official stepped in. "Sir, I also need to report that Captain Hayes has been the subject of multiple complaints regarding similar instances of bias in the past 3 years." Jonathan nodded. "Then it's time we take action." Minutes later, Captain Hayes was relieved of duty pending an investigation. The lounge that had once been filled with murmurs of doubt now buzzed with hushed conversations about fairness, justice, and accountability. Marcus, standing beside his father, took a deep breath. He had come to this lounge as an aspiring pilot, but left with a deeper understanding of the obstacles he might face in his journey. But one thing was clear: he would not be deterred. As they walked through the airport, Jonathan placed a firm hand on Marcus's shoulder. "Son," he said, "this industry isn't just about flying planes. It's about discipline, fairness, and responsibility. What happened today wasn't right. But remember, you define your worth, not their prejudice." Marcus looked up at his father, his determination renewed. "I won't let this stop me." Months later, Marcus became a vocal advocate for diversity in aviation, sharing his experience to inspire others. His story led to industry-wide conversations about inclusion, bias, and change. As he prepared for his first solo flight years later, he recalled that day not with bitterness, but with resolve. He knew now, more than ever, that the sky belonged to everyone willing to chase their dreams.